very fragile state. Apart from a booming super prime sector, which even that's beginning to run out of steam perhaps a little bit in London, we have a very weak market. And in particular, we've got a very weak market in terms of regeneration and investment in the regions and in secondary and tertiary areas. One thing that it would have been nice to get in the budget and that we haven't seen is any kind of announcement about tax increment finance or accelerated development zones. And I think without that, and with the scrapping of regional development agencies, there is a danger that we're going to just have a continuation of a complete freeze on any development activity and investment in the nation's infrastructure and urban regions. And I think that's quite challenging. And it'll be interesting to see what the government does. I think it is going to have to do something on the sort of growth and the sort of freedom agenda, growth and enterprise, if it's going to encourage some sort of activity there, which we are going to need to see. We've got this government to give us the stock dividends counting towards the mandatory distribution requirement for REITs, which is something that the last government had agreed to implement in their budget in March. But of course that didn't mean that the new government would implement it when it came into power. So that is going to go ahead. So that's very good news for the REITs. Beyond that, the other announcement that came out in the speech was on capital allowances. Now, we'd been expecting that we might see a reduction in the rates available for capital allowances. We'd expressed our concern that this is the wrong time in the cycle, in the economic cycle, to be reducing the incentives available for investment. The good thing is that the government has postponed the reduction in the rate at which capital allowances are available. So it isn't going to take effect until April 2012. And I think that is in response to people like us saying that it would be a mistake to implement it now. The other positive, I guess, is that I think that the extent of the reduction in the rates isn't as bad as it could have been. So it's coming down from 20% to 18% for the main pool plant and machinery assets, and from 10% to 8% for the longer life integral features assets. So it's not great, but it's not too bad, and it's good to see it being deferred.